Tonight I'm going to talk about how a seance held amongst casual acquaintances ended up with a North Carolina woman being arrested and charged with witchcraft in 1976. You heard it right, not 1676, but 1976. Now, the town was Morganton, North Carolina, and the lady was Joann Denton. And the trouble started when a young woman in attendance of this seance had tried to reach the departed soul of her husband who had passed the year prior, Buddy. Now, they were unsuccessful in contacting Buddy that night, but Joann did successfully predict that the young lady's mother would pass in less than a month's time. And she wasn't in bad health or anything. This was totally out of the blue, was not expected at all, but it did come to pass. On that date, the young lady's mother did indeed pass. And she went and had charges pressed against Joann. North Carolina still had witchcraft laws on the books. Now, the witchcraft laws that she was charged under this time had passed in 1951, but there was a technicality that money had to change hands. This one was pretty much for gypsies, like traveling circuses and whatnot, to keep people from being fleeced from their money. Well, since Joann didn't charge any money, then the charges were dropped, and she beat it. And she actually went on to use it successfully. She leaned into it. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second because Joann has worn many hats, let's just say. She has been a medical technician. She has been a Sunday school teacher. She's been a go-go dancer. She's been a country music artist. And she's even posed in a men's magazine, if you catch my drift. So let's just say she's lived a full, if not somewhat non-traditional life. But Joann really leaned into the witch thing, and that's really what she's most notorious for, is the Witch of Morganton. And that was not the only thing that she got right. She predicted a couple of auto accidents accurately. She predicted some diseases accurately. She predicted that one person had a blood-borne disease, and indeed they did end up having leukemia. Then she picked another person to have a debilitating blood-borne disease. It turned out they contracted hepatitis and had to retire from their position on a council of, it was a council that Joann had some legal trouble with. Now, she had legal troubles with getting a tax exempt status for her, religious organization. She had been charged with witchcraft more than once. She took money for a good luck charm once and got charged again with witchcraft, and she beat that charge also. And finally, the witchcraft charges went away in North Carolina in the early 2000s. They finally did away with them altogether. But Joann also successfully predicted Wayne Williams, the notorious perpetrator of the Atlanta string of crimes involving children and some young men. Well, she accurately predicted his last name and his profession, and she also accurately predicted Clinton getting elected. So she's been right on more than one occasion. She was also said to host a pretty epic Halloween party. From all that I've read about her, she always held a seance on Halloween, and basically her house was decorated all year for Halloween anyway. Just that kind of spooky vibe lady. And she even had her own casket in her house, which Some of you might remember that Popcorn Sutton, the notorious moonshiner from North Carolina, also kept his own casket inside his home. So they shared that. But that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. I wanted to tell you guys the story of the Witch of Morganton, North Carolina. From as much as I can gather, Joann is still kicking. She, at least as of Halloween of last year, she is still alive and kicking. So there's that. But that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the story of the Witch of Morganton, North Carolina. Keep sending me your stories and suggestions, guys, and keep Appalachia haunted, y'all.